Time now for the Sunday Roundtable, and joining us this morning, Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh and Republican political analyst Rob Gray. It's great to have you with us, guys. What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving leftovers, by the way? Do you like the turkey, the stuffing?
Oh, stuffing.
Stuffing? What?
All of it.
All of it. That's good. This is a kind of a leftover thing. Anthony D'Ambrosio is in this chair this morning. Mm-hmm. There's a special election primary in Boston in the middle of December, and then there's another election in January. How many elections does the city need? I mean, this is voter fatigue city right here.
But this is the most special of special elections, to have to vote in December and January. I'm one of those people who will be voting in this election, both of them. It could have been done months ago. It didn't happen, but I hope people turn out and vote because it's really important to do that. That said, this one will be like pulling teeth.
Well, right. It's kind of tough in the middle of the holidays to get people to go out and vote again.
And there was already low turnout in the mayoral election, so expect rock bottom turnout in these two elections.
All right. Wrapping up our Thanksgiving weekend, Marianne, this is with some stuffing on your plate. You can think about this. So our recent poll with UMass Amherst showed high approval ratings for Governor Charlie Baker and Maura Healey. So are we going to see these two political heavyweights square off for governor in 2022?
I think we're going to probably see one of them, and one of them sooner than later, and that would be Charlie Baker. All the signs are moving towards an announcement any minute now. He hired new people on his finance team. He held a fundraiser this past week. He went to a small business event, firefighters and all that. Charlie Baker systematically is moving closer and closer and closer to announcing it could happen today.
And Rob, he's still sort of playing coy with the media. We keep asking him and he keeps saying, nope, asked and answered, not yet, haven't decided.
I agree with Marianne that decisions are imminent. But Charlie Baker knows he controls this race. Whether he's in or out impacts whether Maura Healey gets in. He knows that. Another interesting thing in the WCVB poll was that in an odd twist, Charlie Baker is less popular with Republicans, far less popular than with independents and Democrats. So that gives him another added measure of control in this race because he's so popular with the opposing party. And will he run as a third-party candidate because he's worried about the Republican primary? A lot to
Well, he
find
sat in
out
the chair
here.
a couple weeks ago and denied that, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen.
It doesn't mean it's still not an option, so we'll find out.
I would be surprised if he did that. I mean, to run as a Republican, get a third of the Republicans, own the unenrolled voters, keep them into the general election, and a few Democrats, that's an advantage for him.
All right, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, she still has certainly a lot of work ahead. She still has to name a police commissioner. She's talking about setting up a search committee that will do this. How soon should this happen? This is one of her most consequential decisions here.
Right. I think getting it right is more important than soon. And the question is, how much new information does Michelle Wu have access to about the police department now that she's mayor that she didn't have as city councilor? I think that makes a big difference there because whoever she picks, it's going to change the trajectory of this department for many years to come.
And Rob?
I mean, this is a minefield for her. As somebody who supported defunding the police as a candidate, she could make both sides unhappy if she picks the wrong person. I think it's got to happen pretty soon because you're only one big crime away from criticism if you haven't put a full-time police commissioner in.
Logically, you would think, though, in her thought process, because she decided she would run against then Marty Walsh back in September of a year ago. She's been thinking about these things already. This isn't a jump into office thing and oh my heavens, what am I going to do?
You have to think she has somebody in mind, but there's still a process that's going to take place here in these progressive constituencies versus law and order citizens is something that she has to weigh.
Well, I think the one thing she's going to do that her predecessors did not, she's going to vet this person. I mean, the others weren't vetted at all, which is shocking and why we're finding out so many revelations about them.
All right, so we're gonna build a few things on the table here. We're going to build like a post-Thanksgiving sandwich here. All right, here's the first one. This tasty little political bite still on the plate. Could Bay State Congressman Stephen Lynch be the next Postmaster General? Marianne?
Yes, he could. And when you look at Biden's appointment and replacement of two people on the Board of Governors for the Postal Service, Trump supporters taking them off, putting them on. Steve Lynch, come on, Boston Union guy. He is South Postal in his district. He is tailor-made for this post.
Will he be? What do you think, Rob?
Well, he's certainly indicated that he's interested, or there are indications that he's interested, and Biden is reshuffling the Postal Service. I would say no, but I wouldn't rule it out.
I was going to say, I hear hesitancy in your voice in the middle there. All right.
He's a safe Democratic seat, though. You got to remember that.
Well,
like, getting someone in there.
You have led me perfectly to the next sequence. So if it does happen, and Stephen Lynch does become the Postmaster General, here's the stuffing on top of the sandwich. Does Marty Walsh run for that congressional seat, Marianne?
So here's someone who doesn't like being in Washington to begin with as a cabinet secretary. Does Marty Walsh really think he's going to be in Washington more as a member of Congress when you actually have to be there to vote? I doubt it.
What do you think, Rob?
I think it's too risky for Marty Walsh to come back here and run, and also too soon. He can have a 4-year ticket as a cabinet secretary. I think he stays there.
Here's the
What's
one
the
thing
timeline, though? What is the timeline for someone like that if this is too soon?
Well, I mean, I just think you want to have a couple years in the job as a cabinet secretary to kind of fill out your resume, open up other opportunities for you. He's a young guy. He could still come back here, excuse me, and run at a later date, years from now. He doesn't have to jump at the first opportunity.
I'm not sure he's got that many opportunities.
You know what I find interesting? Every week, week in, week out, for whatever reason, we find a reason to talk about Marty Walsh in the OTR roundtable.
We won't be denied.